Hi, it's Nikki here, and where I am in France right now, it's so cold. It's just that really yucky, damp, humid type of day. But hey ho, we're here, and I'm your healing artist. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about letting go and letting go really of control. Now, for some people, that can bring up fear because they like to have control in their lives. But really, we're not actually controlling because when we try and control our life by putting up all sorts of limits or fear based hanging on to things or making sure everything's in order or being wanting to know always the next step, we're actually making our lives worse for us because we're not in the flow. And being in control, we end up thinking that we know best, that we know what we need. And in fact, we end up shutting down everything else that is really out there for us because being in that controlled place, we're thinking, okay, this is a path that I need. This is where I need to see. These are my next steps because I know I'm heading here. But what we're not seeing when we're doing that is a whole bigger picture of what the divine has for us, which is all this in this way. And for those of you who may have watched my video about 3 ways of getting out of debt, I talked about this letting go of control, that there was one moment in my life when I had all this debt and I was just so sick of it that one moment I just stopped the car and I shouted to the divine, that's it, I've had enough, help me. And they showed me the pictures of handlebars for a bicycle and said, let go, because you're wanting to steer the bicycle left and we're wanting you to go right. And what happens when we're fighting over the handlebars? We fall off. And it was at that moment that I then understood that through my fear of trying to control everything that was happening to me to keep me out of debt, I was actually creating that debt because I was believing I needed to go this way. But in fact, the divine said, well, no, we've got the solution over here. Why are you going this way? We've got it right here for you. So I said, okay, I give up. I let go of the handlebars, which is what they told me to do, and just pedal. And that just meant doing what I love doing, give up all the worry and the fear to the divine and just keep moving forwards. And it was from that day that things really started changing for me, not immediately, but a step by step. So when we're in control, we're thinking we need to go this way, but in actual fact, we could be entirely missing the road, and it's actually this way we need to be going. And I tend to think of it, and I know I talk about this a lot in my courses, that it's almost like I see a river running through our soul, which is probably also the Kundalini. It feels like the energy going through the backbone. There's like this river of energy that runs all the way through us. And it's like we're on this, we're on this river. And when we're trying to control, when you're desperately trying to swim and you're panicking, you end up sinking. But if you just lay there on the surface of the water and just lay back, as you do, you float. And then you're just taken by this water. And this water really is, this river is like the divine energy that's taking you where you need to go. And so once you allow that control, it's just so much nicer just to lay back and feel that flow going on. And it will take you to places that you never thought even existed. And this river, it meanders from side to side. It's never a straight line. It always keeps us going. And eventually it takes us out to that ocean of where we're meant to be going. And so it kind of made me think about my journey as well, because I was thinking, well, how did I get here where I am now? And I really started getting into arts and really creating, probably under my marriage, around about 2008, 2009. And along with that, I was doing my Reiki. I got qualified in emotion code and trying all sorts of different modalities. And my business was changing as well. Back in those days, I was on about, I was running creative workshops. Then I got into being positive, all about being in a positive mindset. I went in all about energy and emotion, and it seemed to be changing all the time. I was on this river of meandering. And people would say to me, Nikki, why don't you just do one thing and just fix on it? I can't. I can't. That is not how I work. I'm listening to the messages of the divine which are guiding me. And yes, I probably went this way. And then I would, it's like you arrive at this riverbank and somebody's there giving you these tools in this toolbox. Here you go, put these in your boat. Okay, then I go along, and then I go up to the next embankment, and I would get some more tools into my boat, and I would just keep going along. And so for people on the outside, it was like, well, you're just chopping and changing all the time. But it wasn't about that. It was because I was really tuning into this river, and I really was picking up where I was needing to go next. Okay, I'm being taken to this riverbank now. I'm being given this, so then I can go on to this next bit. And all these tools now that I have in my box are right there in the boat, ready to serve you. And also that get intermingled with everything I do with my emotive boards, with intuitive expression and the emotional healing, etc. It's all there. And so if you're into control, you might end up missing all that. You just think, okay, I just have to stay on this one line, absolutely, and I cannot verge from that because I don't know where that might be going. It might take me somewhere unknown, but that unknown is really where the magic is. And so, what is really holding you back from letting go, from just saying, okay, let go and allow? And it can be beliefs of the fear, beliefs of the unknown. It can all sorts of things can come up through that of what is stopping me from really letting my wings out and flying. The biggest moment I had to totally let go and absolutely trust, and it does come down to trust. It really does. Trusting in something so much bigger than yourself. I like to call it the divine. That just before lockdown, I got 3 messages from the divine. One, that um, my clock in my car, I'd finished work at 5:30. I got in my car, and my car clock showed 4:30, and it was a new car. And normally you just think, "Oh, stupid clock." But no, I sat there and I had to think through my day what I had done to work out what time it was. I thought, "This is really weird. This is showing an hour before, which is English time." I then connected my phone to the Bluetooth, and my phone had been eradicated from the system, and an English name appeared. I'm in France. An English name appeared on the system that I had no idea who it was. And then 2 days later, I found a £1 coin in my purse. So the divine, if you're open to receiving these messages, the divine was telling me more or less to go back to the UK. And that was completely against all my dreams, everything that I'd worked all my life for since I was about 12. I'd made that decision to live in France. And I've been in France for 20 years. It was my home. I said I would die in France. I'm not going back to the UK. And I ended up spending the whole of lockdown planning then to go back to the UK. I was sat looking at videos on YouTube of people who had filmed streets in the UK, helped me just to picture and get myself back into that feeling of being back in England. And it was after lockdown in the August, I moved back to the UK. And that move back, I had to give up everything. I gave up my job that I loved as a language trainer, coach for 12 years. I had to leave my girls over here who were 20 and 24. I gave up my 2 black cats. I gave up where I was living. I had no job. When I went back to the UK, I had no job, I had nowhere to live, no money, nothing. I gave up all my belongings. I went back with 30 small boxes you can pick up in your hand. They got shipped along, and I went there, stayed with my mum, and slowly things began to get into place. I'd found a place to live, a shared accommodation. I started putting things in place and building my own business over there. And it was through that I connected with my now husband and divine partner, who at the time we'd just been friends on Facebook, and it woke him up to how he was feeling about me. And it was a whole chain reaction of things that happened that I ended up moving back to France in the following January, so only after, 4 or 5 months of being in the UK. But it was because I gave up that control of, "No, this is my dream. No, I'm staying in France." I thought, "No, I can't. Something is telling me I have to go." And so it's when you give up that control and you allow that magic to move forward with you, that the world opens up for you and you discover whole new things, and it's incredible. It's an incredible feeling, and that was so freeing for me. It was so frightening because I was stepping completely into the unknown. I was giving up something that I loved for something that I had what I realized I'd run away from was the English part of me, and I had to go and heal that part of me and accept that I was English. And so it's really about we don't know best. We really don't know best. We know that much of what, the divine just knows so much more and sees so much more. They have the bigger plan and we don't. We just like these little puppets. And so it's just a case of doing what you love doing. Follow your passions, follow what you love, feel that joy, feel that spark. And even if you're in something that you really hate, there's always the tiny thing that you can find that is good about that moment. It can be, okay, I hate my job, but I'm learning to understand what I don't like, or this is just a stepping stone. And the more you find the goodness in a situation, the more it can open you up and allow you to let go for everything else to show up. So it's following your passion, following what you love doing, following that love within you, that joy within you. It doesn't have to be on the outside, it's finding it within for where you are in the situation right now. And then trusting that there is something so much bigger, that you're not here on your own. And I'm pretty sure if you're tuned into my channel, you kind of know this. You're already connected some way to something so much bigger and how you want to see that. And just trust that you will be guided completely. And yes, it is scary. It was so scary for me when I did that, but it was so exhilarating. And coming out the other side and seeing what had happened because I'd done that, it really proved to me the power of letting go. So, just sit down and see maybe one part of your life where you can have a go at letting go of that control. And do put it in the comments as well on how you're feeling about letting go. Which part of your life are you finding really hard to let go of? And we tend to have this feeling of like crisping on and holding on. And I will do another video about this because there's more about the breathing into it as well. But I'll leave this one for now. So do write in your comments if you have managed to let go or where it is difficult for you to. And yeah, let's all have a go at letting go of one part of our lives that we actually find really hard to do. Have an absolute beautiful day wherever you are, whatever the weather's outside, make it beautiful within you. And do hop over to my website at nikkihoward.com because I've got a great offer for you there as well of downloading a copy of a guide that will really help you to up-level your life right now where you are and help you to come unstuck. Because for us who are feeling that we can't let go, this will actually just take you out of that mindset and help you to see that, yes, you can take a step to letting go. You can move forward into the next realm of your life. Take care and see you soon.